Hey there, it's Kayla and this is On the Fritz, where I talk about books in a hot mess fashion. And today I'm doing the mid-year freakout tag. Okay, so the last time I improv'd a tag, it did not go
Motion
well.
detected at the front door.
That's my Alexa. Anyways, so I've got the questions and I've got like what I wanted to answer prepared. We did some preparation, we did some note-taking. Let's get into it. Okay, so the first question is best book you've read so far in 2021. So I have The Promised Neverland by Kaiu Shirai, which is a manga. And I wanted to put this on here because it's a different format, but watching this anime and then reading this manga series opened my eyes to a whole new medium. I've read comics and graphic novels for years. I just never was interested in manga for whatever reason. And this story changed my mind. And now I have a long TBR list of manga to go through. So The Promised Neverland is definitely on my favorites list for 2021. For a reread, I've been rereading Ice Planet Barbarians ever since the snow and ice storm in Texas back in February. I started rereading those books for comfort, and I'm still making my way through the series. So my favorite in the series is Barbarian's Mate. That is Josie and Hayden's book. It's enemies to lovers. There's a good build-up and setup for it. Lots of banter and putting off their fated mate resonance. Oh, it's so good. And the last book I have on here, this is only question one, oh my god, is a recent read, like I just read it this weekend. And it's I Married a Lizzardman by Regine Abel. You guys, I saw this cover on Facebook and I was like, yep, add it to my TBR. It's on Kaiu. You should read it too. But oh my gosh, it's so good. It's around 200, I think it said 290 on Amazon, but I flew through it and I'm not a fast reader, so I'm not sure if that page count is accurate. But this was so good. This is like an arranged marriage through a dating agency that finds couples that will do well with each other. Our heroine is the third daughter of a family, and so in this world it's very matriarchal. The women get the land, etc. And so she needs to get married, otherwise she's gonna like lose her agency and will be forced to do something she doesn't want to. And so she signs up in this program and she gets matched with the hero, who is a lizard man, and he lives on like a barbaric planet. And there is also a little splash of like destiny or prophecy, because the seer on that planet told the leader to marry someone off-world so that she can come in and save their planet, because food is scarce and there's also outsiders that are coming in and cultivating their land and making it more of a modern society without their permission and stuff. So, oh, it is so good. It's one of those where both couples just want to make the arranged marriage work, and the conflict isn't between the couple, it's outside plot-wise. And so you just get them married and they're together and they're learning and figuring each other out and falling in love, and it's so good. Okay, question two. Best sequel you read so far. I've read a lot of sequels, I read a lot of series, I read very few standalones, so I could say so many different things for this. But I picked Chasing Cassandra by Lisa Kleypas. Almost said Cassandra Clare. This is the most recent Ravenel's book, this historical romance. And this one was so sweet because Cassandra, our heroine, she's the romantic in the family, and she was the one most looking forward to getting married, and she's the last one to get married. And it's just the hero, Tom, he is just smitten with her, but he's like one of those men that doesn't want to get married, blah blah blah. And it's just them like, it's just the book is just like their encounters over this long period of time to the point where they finally end up married, because he steps in to save her from ruin from somebody else. So there's a lot of little elements in this one, but it is so romantic. Question 3, new release you haven't read yet but want to. That is definitely After Age Eve Brown by Talia Hibbert. That is the third and final book in the Brown Sisters series, contemporary romance. I finally just got Danny Brown's book from the library today, and so I've been waiting forever because I read Chloe Brown's book last month. I'm reading Danny Brown's book this month, and then I'll have to get on the wait list for Eve Brown's book. Eve Brown's book, but I'm so excited for that one. It did come out this year, but I haven't read it yet because I just started their series. And this one, she is, I think she's a baker, or she's a really good cook, and she works at a bed and breakfast and falls in love with the grumpy owner of the B&B, or manager, something like that. Question 4, most anticipated release for the second half of the year. So my most anticipated release is Devil in Disguise by Lisa Kleypas. This is the next Ravenel book that none of us really knew was coming. The cover is gorgeous, kind of like a mystery element on like who this couple is. So I didn't like dive too much into who it is. I'm just going to pick it up. So that comes out in like the end of July, which isn't too far away. But katierobert on Instagram, I post the pictures if I could. If you're in the romance Discord group, it's there. Go check it out. But katierobert on Twitter posted some artwork she got commissioned for books that she's working on, and she's working on a monster series. And I think, I'm trying to think of the ones she said so far, but she said that she's so excited about them that she's trying to get them out, at least the first one, by the end of the year. I'm so excited. So she's got gargoyles, kraken, dragon, an orc, and a demon. I had to look it up. I couldn't remember the other two. So she said there'll be at least 5, and she's trying to get the first one out by the end of the year. Okay, next question. Biggest disappointment? Definitely Elfen Lied by Lynn Okamoto. I don't want to talk about this book manga series anymore. Sci-fi horror. It's what inspired Stranger Things. Don't recommend. Had a horrible time. Boo. And then my other disappointment is one of my rereads, surprisingly, and that is Barbarian's Lady by Ruby Dixon. This is Kate and Harek's book, and it was just really boring, and I didn't like it on the reread. It was just one of those weird occurrences, but what can you do? Question 6, biggest surprise. Definitely The Promised Neverland by Kaiu Shirai. Like I said earlier, it introduced me to a whole new medium of stories. That medium that has all these different genres too. So surprised how much I just dove down that manga hole. Question 7, favorite new author? Definitely Talia Hibbert. I'm so excited I picked up Chloe Brown. I'm not a big contemporary romance reader, but I did make a video the end of last year that I do have like the big ones that are talked about a lot. I do have those on my T-bar because they sound interesting to me. They do sound good, and so many people do like them. I'm kind of very selective and picky about my contemporary romance, and this series was high on that TBR, and I'm so glad I read it. And I read Mating the Huntress by Talia Hibbert. Another plug, please, putting it out into the universe. Please write more books in that series. It was so good. We need more. So yeah, I can't wait to read her entire backlist. Newest fictional crush. So I don't know, my crushes don't linger too long. I feel like it's within the most recent realm. So my current crushes are Rektar and Lucy from When She's Bold by Ruby Dixon. Oh my god. This novella is under 100 pages, set in the Riesda universe, that farming planet. So good. We got both characters are big and curvy. Lucy loves to bake and cook, and she's trying to like, she's like putting on her best game for Rekar. Yeah, it's like, I know it sounds like Reptar, but it's not Reptar. And he's just clueless. He's a virgin hero, and there's a quote in the book that he's like the Dudley Do-Right type, and so he's just like very straight-laced by the book, and so he's just clueless. I love him, and he's quiet, and she's like a chatterbox, and it just has all these tropes that I love, and it did the thing that I wanted it to do. There's a barn scene in here that had me blushing, gasping, laughing, embarrassed. So many things in such a short amount of time. One of my favorite Ruby Dixon creations. Question 9, newest favorite character. And I think it has to be Sinha from Yona of the Dawn. He is one of the dragons. He's the blue dragon. He's the Vision Eye dragon. The dragons around Yona are the ones that are protecting her. Destiny, fated to protect her and love her. Oh, so good. Yona of the Dawn. I love it so much. He is like a soft bean. Soft cinnamon roll. Quiet, doesn't talk much. He has a little squirrel friend that is always with him. And but his power is like super powerful. So he always wears his mask, and he doesn't let anyone see his face or his eyes. He's very self-conscious about it. He was raised that it was bad and a burden and horrible, and he's just so soft. Oh, I love him so much. Question 10, a book that made you cry. I haven't cried in a long time, not because I don't cry, because I do, but I don't pick up books that will make me cry. Like, I have to be in a certain mood, but I teared up a little bit reading My Brother's Husband Omnibus 2. I think I said it right. I can say it in my head, I can't verbally say it very well. By Jingoro Tagame. This was just so sweet and wholesome, and all the feelings. And the second one, when our little family isn't a family, isn't together anymore. So heartbreaking. My Brother's Husband, it's about love, acceptance, seeing the eyes through a child, learning, growing, and it's so sweet. Everyone needs to read the series. Question 11, a book that made you happy. The book I picked for this is Deal with the Demon by Chase Verity. This has a cinnamon roll hero who's a demon, and he becomes a house husband, and he's just so sweet and devoted and will do anything and everything for the heroine. The kids love him. It was just so sweet. A sweet paranormal novella. Most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. Okay. I'm pretty sure I got this year. If not, I got it at the end of last year, but it's Captive Angel by Dina James. But it has a silver hologram background of the clinch and the blue and pinks. Oh. This was like a favorite unexpected that I got in a lot, and I love it so much. Question 13, I think this is the final question. We made it. What books do you need to read by the end of the year? I don't have a year TBR. I rarely do TBRs anyways. I'm a mood reader to the fullest, but I do want to catch up on Yona of the Dawn. I'm currently on volume 14. So I have some catching up to do on that. I'm gonna finish the popular contemporary romances that I mentioned earlier. Things like Beach Read, The Kiss Quotient, Well Met, stuff like that. I want to pick up more horror. I read a lot of horror. I love horror and different types of mediums, but I just bought it's a new release. It's Things Have Gotten Worse by Eric LaRocca. This is a queer horror novella, and I bought this so fast. So many horror people that I follow on social media and on Goodreads have all given it 5 stars. That like rarely happens. And so I added this to my cart, I bought it, and I'm so excited to read this soon. I do want to try to read it in June, ASAP, but this is high on my TBR for sure. And then a new manga series I want to start that is, I'm not sure how long it is, but it's Pluto by Naoki Urasawa. This is a sci-fi horror, I think it's horror. It's definitely sci-fi manga series that's about AIs, and AIs is my #1 favorite trope topic for sci-fi. I'm so excited. It kind of reminds me of Descender by Jeff Vandermeer. Is that who that is? Jeff Lemire. That was close. Pluto is just about AIs, and I think it's like their rise to like AI versus human, what it means to be human. It's like that classic AI storyline, but it's in a manga and it's supposed to be well loved. And yeah, I heard that, I was like, ooh, that is a Kayla book for sure. So that is like the next big series that I want to tackle on. All right, that's all the questions. I'll have the questions down below. If you want to do this tag, go for it. Social media links are also down there. The link to the romance Discord channel is down there. Let's talk about books. Consider subscribing if you want to see more content from me, and I'll see you next time. Bye.